Hi, and welcome to this week's Express Flow, all around improving our push up. Now, if you've been following along with our social media this month, we've been working on a 21-day push up challenge. So I wanted to do an Express Flow all about drills and alignment and ways to improve your push up. Because guess what? The push up to me is one of the best functional movements that you can be doing that doesn't require any equipment. We're only going to use a mini band today and a couple bricks. We're going to do some good shoulder activation, some shoulder mobility. We're going to look at different ways of progressing this movement so you feel that you have the tools to get stronger. All right, let's get started. So one shin in front of the other. Roll the inner thighs back and wide. Press the fingertips down just to lift through the sides of the body. Roll the shoulders back. And then when you feel nice and lifted, just resting the hands onto the thighs, we can allow the eyes to close for just a moment, just really tuning into how we're feeling, how our energy is, how our mood is. If push-ups have always been that elusive movement where you think, oh, I could never do push-ups, they're just too hard. I feel you, because they are. And you know, it's one of those things where we have to break it down little by little and then try to rebuild it up so that you can start to see progress. Because if you just go to the mat and you're just trying to do press-ups the same way every single time, you're not offering your body and your nervous system any new information. And it's that new information, like feedback, like resistance, like props, that helps us get over that plateau. Good. Let the eyes gently open. Fantastic. Let's start with some swimmers. So you're going to swim the arms, just getting the shoulders warmed up. You know, this is a great mobility movement, you know, that you can just do in the morning for the shoulders, just to make sure that you're keeping them nice and mobile. You know, if you've got pain, I always say, go to the movement where the pain is not there, and then notice, okay, if I go up to here, okay, that's where the pain starts. So I'm going to go into the range that I can comfortably do without pain, and then keep repeating that, add resistance until that range starts to increase. And one arm probably does this better than the other. Good. Release that. Good. Take your little band. Take it around the elbows, just below, like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to push out and in from the elbow out. We're going to just start to warm up the back of the shoulder. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 12. Good. 3 more reps. 3, 2, 1. Good. Releasing that. Change the cross of the shins. Good. Taking the band high. Okay, now we're going to start to do some pulls. So I love to warm up for push movement with pull, and vice versa. If I'm going to do a whole bunch of pull movement, which in yoga we don't have very much, right? We have to add resistance to create the pull movement. Then I like to warm up with some push, right? So get both of those movements going, because we want to be balanced. We want our push muscles and our pull muscles to be balanced. So I like to make sure that we're using both. Couple more. Pulling. Bringing that elbow into the pocket. Good. Slowly release. Good. Hands onto the shoulders and just some circles now. And let the shoulder blades lift and lower. Lift and lower. Good, go in the other direction. 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay, onto our back. A little bit of core warm up, because I find we've got to get this rib to hip connection, because if we can't hold our ribs and hips together, we're going to kind of sway in the back. So coming down now, we're going to do some bird dogs. Now, I love these, especially if you had a C-section, if you had anything going on with your abdomen, or you want to rebuild your core. This is a great way to do it. Bringing the legs up into tabletop. So you're going to have a little natural curve in your low back. Now, if that makes your low back scream, then you're going to go into a posterior tilt. Okay? So little natural curve in the back, and you're going to start to take the arms. We're going to do it without the band first, and then we'll add the band. Away, stretch. And you want to think that my ribs and my pelvis are staying completely still as my legs move. You're going to add that TVA breath. So as you inhale through the nose, stretch. Exhale like you're blowing through a straw. Good, get the band around the wrist now. Like that. Okay, and then again, so now as I push, I'm going to push my arm and turn. Push. And that little gentle curve in the low back. And releasing that, giving yourself a little squeeze. Good, coming all the way up. Sitting back onto the heels. Good, we're going to take our band, pop it around our left hand, hold it to our shoulder, and then come up into this kneeling. So keeping the ribs back, tailbone down, elbow back, shoulder blade, squeeze to the back, and you're going to start to do some tricep extensions down. So notice if your elbow's out, rotate the shoulder, squeeze the blade. Try to keep the shoulder blade nice and still as you push. One more. Good, other side. Good, so hand in. We rotate the elbow back and shoulder blade and down. Three more. Good. Okay, let's practice the movement of the shoulder blades in a push-up, which I think a lot of us kind of skim over. And this will help you feel stronger and more connected to your back. So if we think when we start the push-up position, The shoulder blades are going to move first. So as you lower yourself, we want to retract the shoulder blades first and then lower. And then the shoulder blades are going to push and protract. So retraction, protraction. So just practicing that. Do the band on the hands like that. And practice. Retract, squeeze, protract. Retract, protract. Retract, protract. One more. Retract, squeeze, protract. Good. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees. We can walk out our dog a little bit. Standing one heel and the other. The better you get at your push-up, if you do a lot of vinyasa yoga, the stronger your chaturangas are going to become. And you're going to be able to do the practice with less kind of fatigue, right? And then you're also going to help to reduce the likelihood of an overuse injury because you're using more muscles and activating more. Good. Walk to the back. Walk back into your down dog plank. Walk back, and you can just bend the knees and just shifting the weight hand to hand. Walk and back. Walk and back. Good. Come down. Good. We'll get our mini band now. So we'll start with on the knees first. Then we'll progress this. Okay, so right above the elbow, hands pressing. Now walk the knees back and move your tailbone forward. We want to feel that you're in a straight line from the crown of your head to your knees. You don't want to be up like this with your bum in the air. We're trying to create as much of the same movement as a full push-up as we can. Okay, so we're here. Okay, back of the skull just slightly lifted. Now think shoulder blades squeeze and push. Push through the little finger side of your hand. That's going to rotate the elbow slightly back. But you're going to go into the position of the elbow that feels good. Now think about activating the core. Just gently hugging the pubic bone up towards the rib. Okay, now if that felt okay, we're going to add a brick now. So if you're progressing this, start there. See if you can do 10 of those. Good form. Then say, okay, I can do that. Now we're going to take a brick underneath the chest. And now I'm going to work on keeping everything still and tapping that brick on my chest. Shoulder blade squeeze, tap. Shoulder blade squeeze, tap. And we don't want the pelvis to be leading the charge, right? Shoulder blade action. Yeah, seeing if you can do 4 or 5 of those. Then the next phase is you take that brick under your pelvis. We lower it to the medium setting. So once you feel confident doing that, then we'll go here. Okay, and tap, push. Everything lowering at the same rate. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and again, trying a few like that. And then the last phase is you take the bricks away, and now we're going to work on lowering fully. Nose is going to touch the floor. Really make sure you're activating every muscle because it'll feel lighter. The more active you are, the lighter you become. Okay, so step it back. Back of the skull slightly up and touch. Touch shoulder blades. Touch. Touch. Good, and we'll take our band off. Stretch those thighs. Good, sit back onto your heel. Rest for a second. Good, lifting up into down dog. Walk out our dog a bit. Good, walk forward, lie into your back. Give yourself a little squeeze. So if you're doing the chaturanga as well, you could also take that band around and wear it while you're doing your vinyasas. That's a really great way to improve as well. Take that leg across. And to the other side. Good. Give yourself one final squeeze and stretch the legs. Vrishvasana. Good, guys. Roll to one side and come up. And bring your hands to your heart, lifting the chest. We bow our heads to our hearts in gratitude for this time that we have to practice together, to break poses down, to work on our form, to work on our technique so that we feel stronger, that we feel more easeful in our practice. We'll finish with one Om, taking a big inhale. Om. Namaste. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this improver session, and I look forward to seeing you in our next flow. Please check out the link in my bio. I have a huge on-demand library to help you progress your practice, learn how to use resistance bands within yoga, and really look after your joints in a way that you might not be doing already. I'll see you next time.